Have you ever really stopped and listened to the music in your favorite video games? I mean, really listened? We've gone from the simplest little beeps and boops to these massive, epic scores that sound like they're straight out of a Hollywood movie. It's an incredible journey, and today, we're going to break down how music became one of the most powerful and honestly, one of the coolest parts of gaming.
The whole story here is really about technology. Back in the 70s and 80s, developers were working with just a few kilobytes of memory. To put that in perspective, that's way less space than a single icon on your phone takes up today. So they had to get creative, making these simple, looping tunes that were somehow incredibly catchy. Then you get to the 90s and consoles started getting dedicated sound chips, which meant, hey, now we can play multiple sounds at once, and that led to richer music. And now? Well, today, composers are working with full orchestras to create these massive, cinematic scores. The leap is just staggering.
But here's the thing. Video game music isn't just there to sound awesome. It's actually doing a ton of heavy lifting in the background. It's a storyteller, a silent narrator guiding you through the experience. Let's dig into how that works.
Think about it. You know the feeling, right? You walk into some creepy, dark forest in a game, and suddenly the music gets all quiet and eerie. That's not an accident. It's designed to build tension. Then, a huge boss battle kicks off and boom, the music gets fast, it's loud, it's full of drums, and your heart starts pumping. Composers are masters at this, using tempo, volume, and different instruments to pull on your emotions and make you feel totally connected to what's happening on screen.
And this quote just nails it. The music is like this hidden narrator, giving you clues and whispering secrets about the world you're in. It's what makes a bunch of pixels on a screen feel emotionally alive, like a real place. It is absolutely a core part of the experience.
So, that's music, but it's only half of the audio story. Let's talk about its equally important partner, sound effects. They have a completely different but just as critical job to do.
So what's the real difference between them? Well, it breaks down pretty simply. Music is all about setting the emotional vibe. It tells you if you're supposed to feel heroic or scared or maybe curious. Sound effects, on the other hand, are all about giving you information. They confirm that your actions are working and tell you what's happening in the world around you.
And you can see just how vital those little sounds are. Every single thump when your character jumps, or the creak of a door opening, that's crucial feedback. It tells you, yep, the game heard you. But it gets even more important when you hear an enemy's footsteps just behind you. That's information you can't see, and it's critical for survival. All these tiny details work together to make the game's world feel physical, like you could actually reach out and touch.
All of this, the music, the sound effects, it's all working towards one of the biggest goals in game design, immersion. Immersion is that magic feeling, right? Where you're so completely absorbed in the game that the real world just kind of fades away. You forget you're holding a controller, you're just in it. And high-quality audio is the invisible glue that holds that entire feeling together.
Okay, so let's get into something a little more advanced, because this is where things get really cool. In a movie, the music is fixed. It's the same every single time. But games aren't like that. You are in control. So the music had to evolve to actually play with you.
And this evolution is called dynamic music. Basically, it's a soundtrack that isn't set in stone. It's actively listening to what you're doing in the game, and it changes in real time to perfectly match the moment. It's one of the most brilliant and complex parts of modern game audio.
So, how in the world does this work? Well, composers create music in different layers that can be turned on or off. So imagine you're just exploring a beautiful landscape. You're hearing a calm, peaceful layer of music. But the second an enemy shows up on screen, the game seamlessly fades in other layers, maybe some intense drums, some dramatic horns. Then, once the fight's over, those combat layers fade away just as smoothly, and you're right back to the peaceful exploration music. It feels completely natural, and it makes the soundtrack feel like it was composed just for your personal playthrough.
You know, the very best game music doesn't just stay in the game. It escapes. It breaks out into the real world and becomes part of our culture. It becomes an unforgettable anthem.
And I bet you can hear one in your head right now. That heroic theme that plays when you first step into a giant open world. Or that simple, catchy tune from a game you played as a kid. These melodies become the game's sonic identity. They're just as recognizable as the main character or the logo on the box.
And the legacy of these themes is just massive. They create this incredible sense of nostalgia. They're performed by real orchestras in huge sold-out concert halls. Fans create thousands of amazing remixes online. And now, game music is finally getting the respect it deserves, winning major awards right alongside movie scores. It's a legitimate art form.
But it's not all just about art and emotion.
In the super high-stakes world of competitive gaming and esports, sound is a weapon. For pro players, audio isn't about setting a mood, it's about survival and strategy. They use high-end headsets to hear the absolute tiniest details, like an opponent reloading their weapon around a corner. Hearing that one tiny sound a split second earlier can literally be the difference between winning and losing a championship.
So, we've gone from simple beeps to full orchestras, from fixed loops to dynamic scores that react to our every move. It's hard to imagine, but what could possibly be next? Let's take a quick peek into the future.
In the future, looks incredibly cool. With virtual reality, you'll have spatial audio, letting you pinpoint a sound's exact location. Is it above you, behind you, below you? We're also seeing the rise of AI that could generate a completely unique soundtrack for every single player, every single time they play. And with haptic feedback, those smart vibrations in your controller, you won't just hear the game's audio anymore. You'll actually be able to feel it.
So I want to leave you with this one last thought to chew on. Just imagine this. What if the score to your next big adventure was created in real time, just for you? A completely personal soundtrack reacting to every choice you make, every path you take. A score that no one else in the entire world will ever hear in the exact same way. That's not science fiction. That's where we're heading, and it's going to change everything.